Hey everyone, look, if you're watching this, you've probably just stared at a massive, and I mean massive, stack of course materials from the Open University and wondered, how in the world am I actually going to do this? Trust me, I get it. I have been exactly where you are right now. I've navigated the tricky waters of Open University life myself, and I know firsthand just how overwhelming it can feel on day one. But hey, don't worry, we've got this. Today, I'm going to share my mentor's survival guide with you. In this explainer, we're going to demystify distance learning together, step by step, using the exact same strategies that got me all the way to graduation.
You know, I'll never forget reading the official LIS 101 course guide on my very first day and coming across this exact quote. It said, "In distance learning, the study units replace the university lecturer." Just let that sink in for a second. It's kind of intimidating, right? There's absolutely no one standing at the front of a lecture hall telling you what to do every Tuesday and Thursday morning. That independent study aspect, well, that's the main challenge we are going to conquer today. Because honestly, once you embrace this fact, it actually becomes your biggest advantage. It means you get to learn completely on your own terms.
So, to ease your mind, I've broken this whole thing down into a really straightforward survival roadmap. First, welcome to distance learning. Second, mastering your study schedule. Third, using tutors effectively. And fourth, acing your final exams. Let's get into it.
All right, part one. Welcome to distance learning.
Okay, let's dive into this. Succeeding here isn't just about reading a bunch of books. It requires a total mindset shift. You literally have to transition from being a passive listener in a traditional classroom to becoming an active, independent manager of your own education. The course guide gives us this great piece of advice. It says to think of it as reading the lecture instead of listening to the lecturer. The main body of your unit is your roadmap. You really have to treat that written text as the voice of the professor guiding you through the material. When you open that study unit, I want you to imagine you're sitting right there in the front row, and those words are speaking directly to you. It completely changes how you interact with the material, and honestly, it helps you absorb the information so much better.
Moving right along to section 2, mastering your study schedule.
Okay, so without a physical classroom to force you to show up at a specific time, you must take absolute control over your time and your schedule. This is the exact point where most students either sink or swim. But the official guide actually lays out a brilliant step-by-step strategy for keeping on track. Step 1. Read the course guide thoroughly. Seriously, consider this your very first assignment before you even look at the actual course content. Step 2. Organize a study schedule. You want to design a broad course overview to guide you through the entire semester. And then, Step 3. Map out your schedule of work for each specific unit. Note down exactly how long every unit should take and the assignments tied to it. If you map this out early, you completely eliminate the guesswork. It lowers your stress immensely, I promise. Now, to execute that schedule flawlessly, you're going to need a dedicated tool, the student diary. The guide explicitly tells us to keep a diary of all the important information. Specifically, you need to itemize 3 things: the details of your tutorials, the exact duration of the semester, and, absolutely crucial, your assignment submission dates. I literally cannot stress this enough from my own experience. Falling behind is the #1 cause of failure in distance learning. Keeping a dedicated diary with these exact elements prevents you from losing track of time and keeps you highly accountable to yourself.
All right, section 3, using tutors effectively.
So, you have your schedule perfectly dialed in. But what happens when you hit a wall? It's a highly relatable question, and honestly, it's 100% going to happen. You'll be reading some tough unit, maybe about information literacy models or really complex search strategies. And suddenly, absolutely nothing makes sense. Look, it is completely normal to feel a bit of anxiety about getting stuck. The really important thing here is how you react to hitting that wall.
When this happens, you essentially have 2 choices: staying silent or calling your tutor. I want to slow down here for a second because this is huge. If you choose to stay silent, maybe out of embarrassment or you're just frustrated, you will inevitably fall behind that beautifully planned schedule of yours. But if you call your tutor, well, that is exactly what they are hired to do. The course guide specifically says your tutor's job is to help you. If you get into any difficulty whatsoever, do not hesitate to telephone them or visit the nearest study center. Actually, scratch the idea that it's a weakness. Reaching out for help isn't a sign of weakness at all. It is the absolute hallmark of a highly successful, proactive student.
And finally, section 4, acing your final exams.
So the crucial point is this: by managing your schedule effectively with your student diary and actually using your tutor when you hit those inevitable roadblocks, you are naturally laying the groundwork for successful exam prep. It's not some mad dash at the end of the semester, it's all connected from day one. And the golden rule for that prep is the number 4. You must visit your study center at least 4 weeks before your assignment due dates to get your next required assignment. Why? Because tackling these assignments well in advance is how you actively learn the material, meet the course objectives, and ultimately ensure you pass that final exam. Do not wait until the last minute. Give yourself that 4-week buffer. It's a total game changer.
Remember, the LIS 101 course guide is your ultimate tool for achieving those learning objectives. Every single unit in this guide starts with a really specific list of objectives. So as an experienced student, my absolute biggest piece of advice to you is this. After you finish a unit, go back and review those objectives. Ask yourself honestly, have I achieved these? If you aren't sure, well, that's exactly what you need to review with your tutor. Using the guide this way ensures you are thoroughly, confidently prepared when exam day finally arrives.
And just like that, we're at the end of our survival explainer. The roadmap is officially in your hands. You know how to shift your mindset, how to manage your schedule with a dedicated diary, how to lean on your tutors, and how to prep for exams by tracking your objectives. So I want to leave you with this final, empowering question. How are you going to tackle your very first unit today? Are you going to go set up that student diary right now? Are you going to sit down and map out your schedule for the whole semester? You have the tools, you've got the strategy, and you are entirely capable of mastering this journey. Dive in, take control of your learning, and happy studying.